Welcome to the power plant engineering lecture number. Welcome to the power plant engineering lecture number 4. In this video I will explain you working principle of hydroelectric power plant. This is the video for hydro power plant. So this is the diagram for hydroelectric power plant as you see in the figure, and we will discuss working principle of hydroelectric power plant. Let's understand the potential energy and kinetic energy before understand the working principle of hydroelectric power plant. Potential energy, it is the energy processed by the body due to its position relative to the other objects. When objects are displaced from their equilibrium, they gained some energy which get stored in the object in the form of potential energy. Example, when the spring is stretched or compressed in, it gains potential energy. Next is kinetic energy. It is the energy possessed by the body due to its motion. The higher the speed of the body, the higher will be the kinetic energy. This is the diagram for a hydroelectric power plant. In the left side, you see the potential energy as a reservoir, then intake to the kinetic energy, then to the penstock, to the turbine, and turbine is coupled with the generator to the powerhouse. It provided electricity, generate electricity, and this electricity is provided to the long distance power lines, and in the nearer to the load center or the turbine, the river, where we can use the water from the river in the mechanical energy form. Working of the hydro power plant is that it converts the potential energy and kinetic energy of the water into mechanical energy with the help of turbine. हाइड्रो पावर प्लांट क्या करता है, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी और काइनेटिक एनर्जी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर इनटू द मैकेनिकल एनर्जी विद द हेल्प ऑफ टर्बाइन कन्वर्ट करते हैं पोटेंशियल एनर्जी और काइनेटिक एनर्जी को इनटू मैकेनिकल एनर्जी विद द हेल्प ऑफ टर्बाइन. Water stored in the reservoir or forebay behind the dam fall through the penstock, and it strike the blades of the turbine with high pressure, and the turbine runner start rotating. The runner attached to the shaft that is connected to the generator which generate electricity. The turbine mechanical energy is converted into electricity through electric generator. The electrical energy is obtained and which is used for industrial uses. The electrical energy obtained from the hydroelectric plant is proportional to the rate of flow of water and the elevation drop. So this is the working principle of hydroelectric power plant. Next topic is the classification of hydroelectric power plant. So classification according to the nature of load, it is the two types. First is the base load plant. In this type of plant take the load on the base portion of the load curve. The load on the plant remains more or less constant throughout the operation period. Base load plant are generally large in capacity. The run of river and storage type power plant are used as base load plant. The load factor of such plant is considerably high. Second is the peak load plant. Peak load plant are designed primarily for taking care of peak load of the demand curve as shown in the figure 3.1. So this is the demand in kilowatt, and this is the graph as you see in the figure. Mean or average load or peak load. At the top it is the peak load, and at the line or dotted line shown in the figure, this is the mean or average load. So run of river plant with pondage and pump storage plant are generally used as a peak load plant. Okay, so next is the classification according to the quantity of water available. So in this first point is a run of river plant with pondage. This type of plant does not store the water and use the water as it comes. This plant has no control over the river flow, therefore, water is wasted during low load and high flood condition. During dry season, the capacity of the plant goes down due to the low flow rate of the water. Next point is the run of river plant with pondage. So in this, the usefulness of the run of river plant is increased by incorporating a pond in the plant. The pond permits to store water during off-peak hour and uses during peak hour of the same day. So this is the second point: run of river plant with pondage. Next classification is on the basis of head. In this, first point is the low head. Low head, in this point, reservoir height is called low head. They consist of dam across a sideway stream diverger in the river with dams. Powerhouse is constructed on stream which further join the river, and types of turbine are used in this plant: furnaces and Kaplan. Height below below than 30 meter. In this low head, in this height is below 30 meter. So this is the diagram showing the figure for low head. Next is a medium head. Height of this head is 30 to 100 meter. Forebay provided at the beginning of the penstock, and water is carried is open canal from main reservoir to forebay, then to powerhouse to the penstock. And third one is the high head. Height of this head is 100 meter to 2000 meter. Water is stored in the lake over the mountain during high rainy season or when snow melts. In this type, water is available through the air. This plant is called high head plant. So this is the classification of hydroelectric power plant.